Today, what we have planned on the agenda is we're finally talking about Maverick with a lot of what you people have been wondering. Not really a lot of you. Just some of you have been curious, mainly like the very crazy ones of just like, Beta, you can't replace Maverick! I remember what we're doing. We're talking about Maverick, my Fursona, the mascot of the channel. That already gives away why we're talking about it. The wolf dragon, the fucker in the back that doesn't pay rent. I'm wearing the Kigu now. Let me bring him over here. Let's bring him closer for this. I love you. But hey, Maverick, you get your little appearance for your little video. Isn't it great? He gets to be on his own video. What happened to Maverick? Why is he not here anymore? Do you not love him? We want more Maverick Beta. Why can't you show him to us on YouTube? I want my ooh cute furry fursuit content. You can sit and watch. Enjoy the show. But seriously, I've kind of wanted to explain this for a hot minute now as to what happened to Maverick. Is he going away? Beta, you don't really show any love to him. He's only on YouTube. You express all the time that you don't like wearing him. And let me just say, wearing the fursuit, somewhat actually related to the character itself. I'm just more so answering the question, not only to give myself some peace of mind, but also to sort of give you guys some confirmation as to what I've been feeling about my Fursona and sort of identity online. Because if you didn't know, Maverick kind of came to be as like, I don't know, originally some sort of mascot that I wanted for my channel. He wasn't even Maverick at the time. I've made like 3 different videos explaining my Fursona, so go and watch those. But the point was, he was supposed to be a Rantsona, quite literally. Just a mascot, he was a Digimon, then became a Fursona, then I changed him up a bit, and then he's like the face of BetaEtaDelota now, and he's like saved for work, and now that I'm like sort of like past the whole like, okay, I don't need to put on a personality or change myself to be different, what do I do now? This is actually very complicated, so what I'm actually going to do is start a bit from the beginning. This whole idea, or at least explanation that I wanted to sort of put together for you guys, whether it was a video or a stream, actually came to be while I was at BLFC. It was more so during Denver, but like, either way, the idea was put in my head during Denver, where like, when it came to the point where a lot of my friends wanted to go in fursuit, or they wanted me to go around in fursuit with them, I'm gonna be honest, it got to the point where I just didn't want to. When I mean I didn't want to, I mean like, I didn't want to fursuit as Maverick. Now, was it for the physical reasons of it? Yes. I mean, the fursuit does weigh 5 pounds. It's kind of a pain to put together and put on and get everything ready. And also, just like you got to put on a personality with it when you're that character. But the other reason why is just I felt so disconnected to him as a character in general. He doesn't feel like my Fursona. I'm just thinking back to it of like when I made Maverick. I made him and embodied him at a time where I needed some self-confidence. And I'm going to be honest, it was the wrong kind of self-confidence. So like, you sort of noticed this a bit with me with how I make my Fursonas. It's all about like a certain tone or a certain like arc in my life. I don't know why I'm using fucking anime arcs to describe my life. But like, every time I've had a new Sona or like made one or been more expressive with one, it always has to do with some sort of change that I have as a person and who I want to be. Maverick, I'm gonna be honest, he was made because I needed self-confidence in being cute. I'm gonna be honest, it was not a good mentality to take on with a Fursona. Because like, Maverick has kind of been that like ooh-woo, cute, innocent, lovey, huggy persona character that I have that like anyone can love. But at the same time, like, who cares? It was literally based on what other people were thinking about me because I wasn't confident enough about me. So I was like, oh shit, people think this way about me. When that's not the case, and you shouldn't really give a damn about that. I was in the, I want to call it, the young furry phase, where I was trying to figure myself out, but in literally the worst way possible. Thinking that I need to be cute, and I need to get attention, and I need to be this and that. I need a fursuit to be adorable, etc., etc. And when I started to sort of grow out of that phase, I kind of got very disconnected from Maverick. It was more so like I've grown up a bit. So that's why in time, I got my other character, Levi. I was starting to become an adult. I wanted to explore the sort of adult side of the furry fandom. So I got Levi as the sort of horny vessel, as all of you have called it. Again, made another video on that entirely. Explains the whole thing. But the point of him was just, hey, I didn't want any association from what I do online with who this character used to be. I want a sort of clean slate with this character, and I want to build him up in my own way. And it's not to say that, like, people who watch my content take on this sort of parasocial personality of my character and expect that to be my character. Realistically, I could do whatever the fuck I want. I could rebrand Maverick however the fuck I want. But originally, and I'm still under this impression, Maverick is the sort of mascot of the channel. I've made him that. He's the fursona, he's the character that represents BetaEtaDelota. If I went around and turned him into like an NSFW character for me to explore the fandom, that wouldn't feel right, I'm gonna be honest. It just wouldn't sit right with me. To have Maverick be this like NSFW character that I do have this whatever adult side to, but also very much appealing to a younger audience, or originally appealing to a younger audience. It's kind of fucking weird. So like, that's why I got Levi in this case, to sort of express myself for, I don't know, who I want to be. I wanted something separate, so I got Levi. All the young furries cared all at once, saying like, Beta, you can't be into NSFW, and it's like, why? Well, you just can't. You're this image, you can't do this. Why not? And Maverick, you know, he's still here. He's just my mascot. But yeah, Maverick is more of my childish character, as you guys can somewhat tell. But like, I'm not as connected to him as a fursona. And that's what I've kind of somewhat been struggling with for the past year or so, since I kind of brought Levi into sort of the limelight online. So to sort of answer that question, Maverick's not going away and he's not changing. It's just, for me, when I want to be me, like current 2021, 2022 BetaEtaDelota, it's very hard to do that when you're Maverick, who is quite literally 2017 to 2018 BetaEtaDelota. That's a very, very big change in character in the span of that time. Does it mean that I hate Maverick? Absolutely not. Still love him, the character. The fursuit is adorable. The character's sweet. There's a lot of good memories with him. And sometimes, you know, I do like taking on that sort of like, let's be wholesome. Let's be wholesome and sweet and adorable sort of vibe. I like doing it every so often. I just don't want that to be all I'm about. So you have Levi. He's not replacing Maverick. They're both sort of existing one and the same. Now, I guess the question you guys might have now, what about my Aussie ship? What about the other one? Well, that's another explanation entirely. If you follow me on Instagram and Twitter, you would have seen that I do have a third fursona. This fursona is my own personal sona, Ben's fursona. Hi, my name's Ben. Don't call me Ben if you don't know me. And why an Aussie shep? I don't know. I kind of just looked at one and I was like, wow, this is a cute dog. This is a cute fucking dog. And then I was talking to my friend Zillion, because he's really fucking good with fursona design and putting together characters. So I kind of like dropped the idea to him of like, hey, how would Levi look as an Aussie shep, as an Australian shepherd? Beta, the Aussie shep, is my first fursona that was made from scratch, that I helped in the design process, that I didn't just throw at Zill and like, hey, you do this, have fun. This is my first fursona that I've actually made that feels like me. And it's really fucking cliche to say that, because you shouldn't be connected to the furry fandom of your fursona that much, but I do. And when I look at him, I see me, but in fursona form, which is really fucking weird, but really touching. There's like a moment that happens. I don't know if you guys have this with your fursonas or any sona that you get, but like I genuinely have never had this feeling of like, this is it. This is my fursona. Like Levi and Maverick, yeah, they're characters, they're my fursonas, but this is my fursona. This is Beta, but if he was a fursona, or Ben if he was a fursona. I'm explaining too much. Let me just bring up the concept art that made me have that sort of moment, okay? This is what my friend Zillion put together for me one day. But as soon as I saw all of this, I was like, wow, that's me. This is my first time sort of seeing a character in not only my body type, like the tum, the right size, the chest big, thick fucking thighs. I do have thick thighs. It is a genetic sort of a hereditary trait that I've had from my parents. But I look at this and I quite literally see me as a furry fursona. And the Australian shepherd look with like the floppy ears, being cute and having the sort of spots, it was perfect. The design itself, or just a rough sketch of what this fursona would look like as me, is perfect. And so I saw this, and Zillion was fucking concerned because I wasn't talking for a good few seconds. And then he realized that I was having one of my moments. Or not one of my moments, but an actual moment of like, wow, this is me. And I fucking love it. And so I told him, hey, can we like work on this at some point? And he's like, sure. And then on a whim, he put together some more sketches of all of this. Look at all of this. This is adorable. Look at that dog. But what I wanted to do for this Aussie shep is I wanted to make him my own separate fursona. Now, originally, I was worried, like, I don't want all these Fursonas because I don't want to get lost in the sauce. There's nothing wrong with having multiple Sonas, but I just had a preference for what I was going for. So I was very skeptical to make him a separate Sona. Like, what would I do for a name? What would I do for, like, rebranding? Would I rebrand? Would this just be a personal thing? Would other people like him enough to, like, want to put him in a life jacket, etc., etc. But then I just decided, nah, if this is me, I need a full send with it. And so, Beta the Aussie Shep was brought to life. And look at this bean. This is my Fursona. Ben the Aussie Shep. Beta, or not Ben, Beta the Aussie Shep. I think either or works. I don't know if I want to call him Ben. I think it's just going to be Beta, because it's easy, because people know me as Beta, and I want a Fursona for my own name. I was just worried about the separation and whatnot, but either way, yeah. But he's here, and I love him. And every time I look at him, I'm like, wow, that is me. And it's really hard to look at that and be like, wow, this is my Fursona. That's pretty cool. I love him. And whenever someone would make fan art or make some art for him, I'd look at him and be like, wow, that's me. And before that, I tweeted this image on Twitter of like, hey, new dog, who dis? And everyone's like, I need to see this. And then they're like, it's an Aussie Shep. I'm like, how do you know this already? God damn. But you guys, in fucking giving, you're a bean. You guys are beans. You guys are good beans. Also, the bandana, it's a really nice touch. I like it. And then you guys just drawing like fan art for him. And that's the thing. Whenever I like got this like in my mentions or something, or in my DMs of like, hey, I made fan art for your character, and then I received it and looked at it, it took me a second because I wasn't used to seeing like an Australian Shepherd for art of me. I'm like, oh wait, that's me. I forgot. Oh, and this one, I'm getting this one fucking printed and framed. I have to figure out where I can get something framed without me having to do it. Like, they just take care of it and they frame it for me. But this piece, someone did for me, and they fucking got all of the beans together, all of them. But still, these fucking art pieces are adorable, and I love them so much. I love this so much. It's so fucking cute, and I love the beans so much. And I think that's it for the art that I've received so far. Yeah, that's pretty much it, because I think it goes back to the sketches. But that's my new Aussie Shep, my new Fursona. What does that mean for that fucker in the back? Maverick. Nothing really. He's still staying as sort of like the mascot, the brand on YouTube and Twitch. He's sort of embedded himself as part of BetaEtaDelota. I don't hate him. His personality is staying the same as sort of like a childish, innocent, cute, lovable, huggable vibe. And that's it. I might redesign him a little bit at some point, or get another fursuit of him, I don't know. But for what it's worth, he's adorable and I love him to death. He's cute as fuck. As for Levi, he's about the same. He's still gonna be on the channel and whatnot. He's still gonna be somewhat of the thirsty version of, like, I don't know, the personality for me online. And plus his yellow life jacket stands out, because if you didn't know, yellow is a lot more eye-catching in thumbnails. So hey, yellow life jacket, thirsty Fursona, it works out well. Now as for Beta, I'm not really sure. I don't know how much I want to have him involved on YouTube. I mean, obviously, I'll still probably throw him in like thumbnails or talk about him in videos or get some like art of him or simp over him a bit more if we go over Australian Shepherds again. But either way, I have no preference. He's not tied to anything besides me. And if I want to be as expressive as possible in my videos, I might use him. But there is literally no obligation for me to do anything with him other than what I want. Maverick sort of set his place on this channel, but Beta is just nothing but me, and I'm happy with that. And I hope that sort of more or less explains, I don't know, what's been happening with my Fursonas and why I've seemed kind of distant and why I've not wanted a fursuit as Maverick. Also, I forgot to explain the whole thing about Maverick and Levi. Okay, so here's the thing, because everyone asks me all the time of like, can you do fan art for me of my characters? And I just want to explain this for part of the video and for more of an announcement for you guys. One, yes, you can do fan art for any of my characters, Maverick, Levi, Beta, etc. However, if you're doing specific art of him, like NSFW art, I don't want NSFW art of Maverick. I've sort of disclosed that. However, for Levi and Beta, you can do NSFW art of. I just want you to ask me for permission first of what the idea is that you're doing, and then I'll give you, you know, the go-ahead if you want to do something. Because I don't want my characters portrayed in a way that I don't want them to be. And if I'm giving permission to do it, then that's just it. So either way, I'm just sort of allowing that for the sake of that, and I'm putting restrictions on that. Just thought I'd give that announcement for those that are curious, but either way, your mom, and that answered the question. But yeah, that sort of explains my Fursonas. Kind of glad we had this talk.